It's the book club for kids.
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 The book club for kids podcast.
Hi, I'm Kitty Felde. Do you like scary stories? Well, let me introduce you to the Carrefour Curse.
You could say it's kind of like a ghost story, so if you want to have good dreams, then don't read this book at night.
That's one of our readers from Atwater STEAM Elementary School in Los Angeles. The book is a story of family secrets.
Why? This is your home and your family, and you never bring me here. You know why.
That's our celebrity reader, actress Marta Kirsten. Our writer, Dianne K. Salerni, says the book was inspired by a forbidden TV show.
When I was a small child, my mother used to watch a supernatural soap opera called Dark Shadows.
Pretty spooky. This is the Book Club for Kids, the show where kids talk about books. We'll tell you how you can be on the show a little later on, but first, let's meet our readers.
Hello, my name is Jaden.
Hi, my name is Phoebe.
Hello, my name is Margot.
Hi, my name is Alexa.
Hi, my name is May.
Hello, my name is Ella, and we're all 4th graders from Atwater Elementary in LA. So the book, it's basically like, it has a bunch of mystery in it. It's a book about magic, and it's a long novel, actually. It's really interesting, and you could say it's kind of like a ghost story, so if you want to have good dreams, then don't read this book at night.
The main character is Garnet Carrefour, who is this, amazing, kind of mysterious girl who's who wants to figure out what's happening with all of her family because her family is very mysterious.
It's basically about a girl getting to explore this big haunted mansion. So that part's really fun.
Let's talk about our main character. Tell us about Garnet.
Garnet is a little bit older than us and wants to figure out what is her family hushing up because her family's very ominous.
How bad are the bad people in her family?
Pretty bad. Some of them can actually get really evil and also even give them punishments, like Jasper, which is the heir of the Carrefour, blinded some people, and so they are really evil, and they can have very bad consequences.
There's this man named Jasper in Opal's family, and he curses the old house, which burned down, so that anyone goes in it will disappear, and their life energy will go to Jasper, who is a really bad guy, kind of.
Let's talk a little bit about the Carrefour family. Why do they have these names?
It's a magic book, so the family is magical, and they are named after the element they represent. And Garnet is a stone, and Wendy is one of the characters, and she's is wind and water. She controls those elements.
Well, let's hear a bit from the book where Garnet is trying to uncover some of the mysteries surrounding her own family. Our celebrity reader is Marta Kirsten. You may remember her from the old TV show Lost in Space.
Mom focused her gaze on the never-ending flames. "Stand guard against intrusion," she whispered. "Capture it, trap it, never let it go." Mom is the strongest with stones, but unlike me, she can sometimes hear other elements. Why? This is your home and your family, and you never bring me here. You know why. No, I don't. All I know is there's an augury. I admit pointing to Wendy, which is rude, but whatever. She cast some sort of prophecy before I was born that made you leave and never come back, but you refused to tell me what it said. Why is this house a danger to me? Is an anvil going to drop on my head, or what? Wendy, like me and Mom and everyone in the Carrefour family, wields earth magic. Wendy's elements are water and air, just like Mom and I prefer stones. But Wendy has an extra gift, divination. Supposedly, when Mom knew she was expecting a baby, she asked Windy to cast an augur, a type of fortune-telling. Whatever prediction Windy conjured made Mom pack her bags and flee the family estate. So, yeah, when I interfered with Mom's ward, not only was I inviting the summons, I was giving the augury a crack at me. Another reason for my magic to rebound and punish me the way it did. But if you had a dire prediction hovering over your head, wouldn't you want to know what it was? Wouldn't you want a chance to fight it?
At the beginning of each chapter, they give it the name of a stone with the definition and what it does and how it recharges. Did you like that? Did that work for you?
Yes, I really liked it because I feel like I got to learn a lot about stones. I didn't know they even had magical properties or that you could recharge them. And it made me want to look into stones, which actually recently I got like a topaz necklace. And that just helps me connect with the book.
Well, I mean, how much of this do you guys believe?
I believe it all entirely because sometimes I feel like if you don't believe in the magic, then I don't think it's going to really work for you because you don't believe it. But if you believe the magic, sometimes it just works for you. So
I feel like I believe in it about 75% because I know that I exist and anything else is up for debate.
For my birthday, I got a stone. I forget what it's called. It's like a healing stone. I hold it when I'm sad, and it just it helps me. Like, I think the idea, once it's planted in your brain, really, it sort of makes you believe.
You guys have some questions for our writer, Dianne K. Salerni?
Why did you decide to end the story where you did, and then that's it? It sort of leaves you on a cliffhanger.
Well, I guess I didn't think of it as a cliffhanger per se, but I frequently like to end my stories with the idea that the adventure doesn't end. Even if we don't get to see what goes on, that these characters' lives go on after the story is over. And that one of the things Garnet had always wanted was to know something about her father. And now that the Carrefour magic is in the hands of someone more a good person like Ash, that the Carrefour magic kind of summoned him back so that she could actually meet him.
I want to know is what inspired you to write the book?
Well, when I was a small child, my mother used to watch a supernatural soap opera called Dark Shadows. And even though I was too young supposed to be watching it, I was kind of sneaking it from behind the couch. And I fell in love with it. And it did play in reruns when I was older. And what I wanted to do was to write a story that evoked the feelings that show gave me. This story taking place in a very spooky old house with family secrets and a menacing patriarch of the family. And this show had a little bit of everything. You know, it had witchcraft, it had ghosts, it had vampires, and it had time travel. And so that's what I really wanted to do with the Carrefour Curse.
Why did you start it with vomiting frogs? You could have chosen anything else for her to get to the Carrefour mansion, and you just chose vomiting frogs. It's so funny and great.
I didn't actually to start that way. Originally, I had several chapters that weren't working. I started with Garnet and her mother in the gem shop. Her cousin Windy came to visit her to explain what was happening. Emerald threw them out. She tried to ward against her, but it just took too long to get them to Crossroad House. And the original symptoms Garnet was displaying when the curse hit her was just something very vague and not very effective. So I threw out all of those chapters and I said, let's start with them on their way and what could be happening to Garnet that makes an impression. And I'm like, spitting up frogs will do it.
After you published this book, how did you feel?
I was very excited. I love the cover of it. And I was excited to have this Gothic mystery out. That was something that I think that I had wanted to write for a long time. As a matter of fact, I guess I wonder why it took me so long to write a Gothic mystery, the kind of which I used to love reading when I was a kid. So I really felt as if I had finally been true to my childhood self and put together a Gothic mystery like I would have wanted to read.
How do you know how it feels to vomit a frog? Because I want to feel that. I want to feel how it feels.
Yuck!
Well, I don't, and hope I never find out, but I thought that I just kind of made it up, and I wanted it to be not like, actual vomiting, but something strange and magical, or disgusting bit of magic, as Garnet says.
Do you believe in the magic of stones? How do you know all these facts about the stones?
I wouldn't say that I actually believe in the power of stones, although I'm certainly open to it. One of my favorite necklaces is a chakra necklace that has all the 7 chakra stones in it, and I wear it for good luck. I also have a few stones that I like to hold in my hand sometimes if I'm feeling anxious. So I'm not a devout believer in it, but I'm open to the idea, and I do think they're very pretty. I got my information from books about crystals, a crystal shop that is nearby where I live, and also the internet is always a very helpful place.
All right, now it's time to ask the hardest question on planet Earth, which is, what is your favorite book or book series, and why do you love it?
My favorite series in the whole entire world is Ivy and Bean, because even though they're for younger kids, but it never gets old. It's so funny. It's filled with adventure, and I can just whip through the books in like 5 minutes, the whole series.
My favorite book is called The Miraculous Journey of Edward Tulane by Kate Camillo. It's really good, and I really like it because it has a very unique storyline, and also it reminds me of a lot of other books, but it's very unique, and I definitely recommend it to other people because of how unique it is.
My favorite book series is the Secret series, which follows this young girl. She's a little bit older than us, who is like the whole book is sort of secretive. It's by pseudonymous Bosch. I'm not going to say his real name because he liked to keep it a secret. It's just really funny, and yet it's kind of suspenseful because you're like, oh no, is she going to die? Are there these evil aliens that are going to suck out her brains? That doesn't actually happen.
Well, and I should mention that the name of this book, A Secret, is one of our Book Club for Kids episodes, and we'll have a link to it in the show notes and the website. Favorite book?
I think one of my favorite book series is Wings of Fire. I like the novels and the graphic novels and the extra books because they're just all such good books. I can't really describe it, but they're really good. Also, they're for people who like novels or graphic novels because they have both.
My favorite book is The Giver because it's about a boy who lives in a world where it's only black and white. He doesn't know colors, emotions, and someone teaches him what emotions and colors is. And it really shows us how much emotions mean to us and how we need them to express our feelings to each other. And it's really suspenseful also because you're like, oh no, is he gonna run away from the community? Is he gonna die? I like it because it's really heartwarming. He finds his way out of really deep things.
My favorite book series is The Land of Stories because it's basically about these 2 kids who find a way to get into the Land of Stories, which is Cinderella, Rapunzel, Sleeping Beauty, Beauty and the Beast, all the stories that you could possibly think of. And it kind of intertwines all the fairy tales all together. Like, some people get married that were from 2 different stories. You find out people who are queens and stuff like that. And it is really interesting, and I just feel like I can go into the fairy tale world and be like childish with like all the fairy tale stuff and have connections.
Well, what about you, Dianne Salerni? What is your favorite book?
For years, I've been asked, what's my favorite book? And I've always found it extremely hard to answer because my favorite book when I was 10 is not going to be the same as when I was 15 or 25 or 35 and going upwards. But I finally figured out a way to answer it by asking a slightly different question. Not what's my favorite all-time book, but what book did I read out loud to my class when I was a teacher? 2 different classes every year for over 10 years. What book was I willing to read out loud that much and never got tired of reading? And that would be No More Dead Dogs by Gordon Corman. I just loved that book. I love the humor. It has different narrators. I would use different voices for each of them. Sometimes I would even practice before the class came in because I wanted to make sure that certain lines I delivered exactly right to get the laugh because it was such a good line.
Got a favorite book, Marta Kirsten?
The City of Joy by the journalist Dominique Lapierre. It's a very special one for me because I decided to take it on my 10th wedding anniversary to India. My husband and I had honeymooned in Nepal, and we had stopped just briefly in India. For that very small amount of time that we spent there, we knew that we wanted to go back and discover more about India and the people. So I took City of Joy with me, thinking it would give me some insight into the country. And I have to tell you, it gave me so much more. Extraordinary book. It's about how in the extremely impoverished city of Calcutta, there are so many different people that you will find there, not only people like the late Mother Teresa, but other ordinary and underprivileged people who are also saints, who will also inspire you. Some will say the book is about suffering, and there is that, but what you come away with is that the human spirit strives for kindness and loyalty, patience, acceptance, faith, and sometimes even holiness. The book, for me, is a lesson about resilience and human dignity. But I find that most of all, the book, City of Joy, is about hope and about love.
We'll have a list of everybody's favorite book at our website, bookclubforkids.org. And if you have a favorite book, you can be on the Book Club for Kids podcast too. Just record yourself on your smartphone telling us your first name, the city where you live, the name of your favorite book, and why you love it, and then email the voice memo to us at kitty@bookclubforkids.org. We would love to hear from you. Thanks this week to producer Chad Francis. Brandon Baker composed our theme with additional music from Andrew Walton. Emma Steinkellner designed our logo. Thanks to writer Dianne K. Salerni and our celebrity reader, actress Marta Kirsten. And thanks to our readers this week, Jaden, Phoebe, Margot, Alexa, May, and Ella from Atwater STEAM Elementary School in Los Angeles. And thanks to their teacher, Joe Rodriguez. We have a free newsletter for teachers, parents, and librarians full of free tips about how to turn kids into lifelong readers. It comes out every other week, and you can sign up at the website, bookclubforkids.org. And by the way, if you would like to introduce a bit of civics to your young readers, check out our other podcast, The Fina Mendoza Mysteries. It's a spooky story for kids about the 10-year-old daughter of a congressman who solves mysteries inside the U.S. Capitol with the help of a big orange dog named Senator Something. Fina takes us backstage at Congress to see how government actually works. And Season 1 is based on the book Welcome to Washington, Fina Mendoza. It's available in both English and Spanish. We follow Fina on the hunt for the demon cat of Capitol Hill. You can find Fina Mendoza wherever you listen to podcasts or buy your next favorite book. I'm Kitty Felde. Thanks so much for listening.